Hello everyone, welcome to today's Tradyl Webinar. I'm Abhishek and I'll be your host for the next hour. Thank you for joining us, whether you are a long-time partner or just getting to know Tradyl. We're excited to have you here. Today, we're diving into the ins and outs of apparel sourcing from India, whether it is customization, white labeling, or tapping into India's manufacturing expertise. We'll cover it all. And trust me, we've got some great insights coming your way. Before we start, just a quick note. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. We'll tackle them as many as we can towards the end. And don't worry about taking notes. We'll be sharing the recording of the session afterwards. Now, I'll start with introducing our speaker of the day. I'm really excited to introduce Varun, who's production and delivery head at Tradyl, and he's also one of the founding members of Tradyl. Varun is an alumnus of National Institute of Fashion Technology, NIFT, and has over 15 years of sourcing experience for clients from Europe, the USA, Mexico, Australia, and South Africa. Previously, he's worked with the likes of Raymond's, Cotton Blossoms, and Taffels. Varun has also been driving sourcing and production for Tradyl, making it easier for buyers around the world to source quality apparels directly from Indian manufacturers. He's passionate about simplifying cross-border sourcing, and I know you'll find his insights very helpful. Before I hand it over, I'd like to know where everyone is joining from. Feel free to drop a quick hello in the chat and let us know.
Today, we are going to talk about, we'll be going through the factory selection process. There are so many options out there that can be quite overwhelming. So I'll run you through my experience as a sourcing expert in terms of how we uh, both source and we can select the factories. Making the right selection is essential for the business, making sure that you have the right factory. So moving on to the next page. How to source and select from India. So I would suggest four ways through which you can select how to source from India. The first one is a recommendation. If you are outside India, you can contact a person who has already worked with Indian manufacturers. It can be a designer, it can be your manager, your friend, your colleague. Uh, by this, you know that the manufacturer you are in touch with has already performed and has successfully delivered the goods which were required by the concerned person. The second uh, point would be you can always attend a trade show. There are many trade shows happening in India. For example, IIGF, which is International Garment Trade Fair. Uh, while attending all such trade fairs, there's always a good opportunity to meet the manufacturer face to face. In today's world, through digitalization, we have lost the value of face to face meetings. Apart from that, when you are in a fair, you get to see the product, feel the product, and you can do a good negotiation on spot also, because all the manufacturers out there are always keen to grab business. So this can give you an upper hand while negotiation for the products. The third way would be to get data from a trade agency. I know it could be a little expensive, but they can always guide you through to the correct product, correct industry, correct region, and you can also get a referral from them so that you can reach to the correct manufacturing unit. The fourth recommendation can be you can take help from your government. There are embassies in India of your own countries to whom you can connect and get the details of manufacturers, what type of categories they are doing, how much volume they are shipping. You can get all those insights through the data which your government can provide you. So now moving on to the design phase. Before you approach any manufacturer, your vision should be very, very clear. In To start with, you should study the inspirations demographically, that what is selling in the market. You should do your research and analysis trend. There are many platforms like WGSN which give forecasting for the upcoming seasons. You can go to Trendstop, Pantone, or Pinterest as well for inspirations. Then you have to convert your inspiration into design development. Either you can do it yourself if you have knowledge of softwares like Adobe Illustrator or CLO 3D, or you can always hire an freelance designer to help you with this. They will help you to prepare the designs for sampling and what fabrics may be correct, suitable for the design, and they can also help you with the measurements and correct silhouettes in the market. Once you have finalized that, you can approach to maybe couple of vendors, and you can start with the sampling, but you have to always give the correct, fabric details. You have to give the correct silhouette, artwork, and the measurement sheet so that the factory can produce the product which you exactly want. After you receive the product which is made by these factories, you can always conduct a fit session and adjust the garment as per your needs, whether it can be measurements or maybe the length of the garment, or the drape of the garment. And you can always give the feedback to the manufacturer that what needs to be increased. And this is an ongoing loop which can be refined before we start the bulk production. Now, talking about the selection of factories, of course, through all these sources which I initially told you, you might have a data of, let's say, 50 manufacturers. Now, it is very, very difficult to select few factories. So for that, you need to first of all investigate yourself, like what you feel, whether the factory can make the correct product for you. For that, you have to ask for the company's profile, the products which they have done in the past, or you can ask for their digital catalog. It will help you to know what their quality is, what expertise and capacity they have to make a perfect sample. So once you have given the feedback, you can also ask for quotations once you receive the sample, and ask for the lead time for the bulk production. You can also ask them about their quality controls, as it is very, very essential for the bulk productions. Now moving on to sourcing from India, there are several clusters along India. You have south of India, where we have Tirupur, which is called the $1 million city of India as well, and it's the biggest knitwear hub in India. It is very famous for its t-shirts, sweatshirts, and basically all kinds of light knitwears. Then we have Delhi NCR region, where it is famous for high fashion woven garments, a lot of sequencing, embroidery, shifties, accessories, all these kind of dresses and works are done there. Then we have Punjab, which is famous for its woolen products and heavy knitwears. Then we have in the west of India, we have Surat, Gujarat, which is famous for its synthetic fabrics, especially polyesters. And we have Panipat, Haryana, again in north of India, which is famous for its home furnishing products like bed linens and curtains. So moving on to managing the production process after sampling and implementing the quality measures. For production planning, it is very, very important that you set a deadline with the manufacturer, that how much time is required, what is your planning to set the sales going in your country. So you need to have a lead time, fixed lead time with the manufacturer for the production line. The second thing is quality assurance. you need to know what kind of quality management system factory is using. Uh, Once the quality system is set, it is always recommended that you get a pre-production sample from the factory. It is developed when the factory is starting the production in the line. And also you should also get one shipment sample which is out of the bulk, so that you can see that whatever the factory has committed, and he is making the same product which was required out of him. You can also, for the inspections, you can always, if you have your own team present in the local area, you can always ask them to conduct inspections, or a third party inspection will do. Main inspections include the initial inspection, which is when the goods are starting. We have inline inspection, which runs through when the production is going on. We have a midline inspection, which happens when the goods are 30 to 40% stitched or finished. Then we can have final inspection, which is conducted when the goods are completely finished and packed. And at the same time, we can check the import buying conditions, which are a standard set by any client. It may include like what kind of polybag it is required, what is the way of packing, whether it's heterogeneous or homogeneous color-wise, or it may be a size, maybe a blister packing, it can be a solid packing. So these are the some import buying conditions which many of the customers are following. You can, for the quality assurance, also you can ask for third-party fabric or garment testing reports. So once the final inspection and the import buying conditions are set and the goods are shipped, I think there's always a good opportunity to building relationships and good business in future. So after you have done the final inspections, it is also very important for you to know about shipping and logistics, from selecting the right shipping method to handling customs and documentation. Each step is crucial in getting the product safely to the destination. Logistic coordination can be from your side. In that case, you need to be in touch with the freight forwarder if it is by sea, or a courier company if it is by air. Logistic coordination involves moving the goods locally from a factory to the port, which is the designated port for the ship to leave for your country. So you have to do research in that also. Then there is customs compliance. For example, you might, when you receive the goods, you might need certain documents like bill of lading or certificate of origin. So you should be aware about such terminologies, which will help you to import the goods. Then tracking and monitoring is one more important aspect. When the ship or the airlines have departed, you should know where your goods are and what are the ETA and ETD of each shipment. And finally, the final delivery reaches your warehouse. Another important aspect of importing in your country is custom clearance. So you have to work with freight forwarders to handle custom procedures. You have to ensure duties and taxes like VAT, import duties are accounted for your country. And in order to secure your products, you should also opt for an insurance, cargo insurance, to cover any kind of damages or loss during the shipping. So these are few keywords to keep in mind during this complete process, like lead time. So lead time is the time which is taken from starting the production till the end of the production. Then we have MOQ, which is minimum order quantity, which is how much fabric or number of pieces a manufacturer may need to produce the goods. There is another term similar to MOQ with MOQC, which is minimum order quantity per color or combo. It is very important to ask these questions with the manufacturing unit. Then we have HS code. To ship any product to your country, you should know the HS code of the product because it is used in the invoices and the other documents which are required by the forwarders and the custom agencies in your country. So you must check this once you are placing a PO with the manufacturer. Then we have Incoterms. Incoterms, there are different types of Incoterms like freight on board, in which the responsibility of the manufacturer ends when it hands over the goods to the nominated forwarder. And similarly, we have LDP, like landed duty paid, where the goods are delivered to your doorstep and everything from duty to custom clearance, everything is taken care by the manufacturing unit. Then, as I've already mentioned, bill of lading, it is a very important document which the forwarder gives to the manufacturer unit, confirming that what amount of goods and other details are mentioned in bill of lading. So that secures you that whatever you have purchased or whatever the manufacturing unit has committed to ship has been given to the forwarding agencies. Then, as I also mentioned about the taxes, you should know what kind of import duties and taxes will be levied or the additional fees in your country. So it might differ from country to country because you might have free trade agreement with a particular country. So in that case, you have to just produce the certificate of origin, and then there are no import duties as such. And the last point is freight forwarder. That's entirely a separate topic to be discussed. It's huge. It's as big as finding a manufacturer in a certain country. The same way you have to find a good freight forwarder who can be a good partner in long term. So, as I've told you all about the important terminologies and everything regarding how to find a suitable partner for manufacturing in India, I would like to also highlight one of our case studies with our fashion retailers in Middle East of India. So how basically Tradyl served that client. So we have a client in Middle East who is having fast fashion products, and they keep on changing every month their products because they're into fast fashion products like Zara. So Tradyl is an e-commerce company and a B2B retailer, and we have ready to ship products. So it is very helpful for this kind of product because we offer them a range of ready to ship products, and they select these products, and we do white labeling for them, and we confirm the pricing, and it is shipped in less than 3 weeks to them. So it helps it gives them a solution of customization and end-to-end management and quick delivery. So the outcome of this business model with them results in a lot of repeat orders and efficient time of the product in market and increased loyalty, of course. So with this, we come towards the end of our presentation. So Abhishek, maybe you can take it over from here.
Sure. Thank you, Varun. That was a great overview of how one can source from India, important aspects of the process, and how one can really get the most out of India's manufacturing capabilities. A lot of useful insights there. Now let's turn it over to the attendees. I would like to know what stood out to you, what you liked from the session. And if you have any specific questions, you can put them in the Q&A box and we'll take it over. If there's anything which you would like us to dive deeper into, feel free to post them in the chat. Meanwhile, we've already gotten a few questions. So I would read them out and then Varun will share some more insights on those questions. One of the questions is from David from Malta. The question is, what is the usual timeline for getting samples and bulk orders getting delivered to countries like Malta?
Okay, so for getting a sample, we need to have a look. If we need to develop a sample, it might take a while. So if we are having the same fabric which is available, we can easily ship it to Malta within, you say, less than 2 weeks. And again, we have to look at the volumes for mass production. Say, suppose it is 1,000 units of order, then we can, and we have all the approvals after the submission of the sample. So I think the production lead time would be somewhere about 30 to 60 days, depending upon the quantities again.
I hope that answered the question, David. Another question is from Sue Murray. The question is, how do I ensure the quality of products when sourcing from overseas?
So as I said, once you receive the sample, you can always do a in-house testing in your country. You can give the sample to test to whether to check the color fastness or the rubbing or the dimension and change after washing. Similarly, for the bulk, you can do a third-party fabric testing, which is called FPT, or garment testing, which is called GPT. As far as the bulk quality and measurements are concerned, I would recommend you, if you are working with an e-commerce company like us, we have our own QC teams and we do third-party inspection for free of cost for our customers. If you are not in touch, if you with a company like us, you can go for third-party inspections like SGS or ITS.
Okay, thank you, Varun. Another question is from Veronica. The question is, what payment options and payment terms are usually followed by the manufacturers from countries like India?
So actually, this is a good question, and a lot of payment terms have changed after COVID incident. So right now, the most common is like people are taking 20 to 30% of advance because all the fabrics and everything, the mills are not giving any credits. So in many cases, manufacturers are taking advance, and the other you can pay the balance amount upon dispatch or against the BL, I think, which is very safe for a person who is overseas. Once you have the bill, you have the guarantee that the goods, whatever you have ordered, you have all the details that it is matching with what you have ordered. So I think this is one of the ways of payment. And then, of course, if you have letter of credit, if you can issue a letter through your bank, that is the most favorable around the world. It is accepted by everyone in around the world, by every manufacturer. It also helps. It is preferable by the manufacturers because they can also get a credit from their bank against the LC which you have given them. So LC is one of the best options. And the third thing is you can pay part advance and part after the part money after the goods arrive at your facility or your warehouse in your country.
Thank you, Varun. We have one more question that's just come in. What current holding samples you have I think this is a question specifically for Tradyl. What's the price creating samples based on request? This is for Bangalore region. The question.
Come again, your voice got.
The question is what current holding samples you have and what's the price creating samples based on the requests?
So actually, it's not very clear to me, but if you're asking what kind of samples we are having, we in our office, then we have a lot of knitwear and woven samples with different kind of techniques like embroidery and prints and different fabrics, of course. And same goes for wovens as well. For we have the shipment samples of the brands which we have already worked and shipped the products. And of course, the price range, if you ask me, it's differs from product to product. From a t-shirt, if I talk about INR, it can start from as low as 120 rupees and it can go up to 250 rupees or 350 rupees, depending on what kind of specifications you are looking at. Similarly, for wovens, there are n type of fabrics. So you need to be, when we talk about pricing, as I spoke during the seminar, that this webinar, that it should be very, very clear what you are looking at. You have to get correct information for the pricing.
Yeah, I think you answered the question correctly. The second part was about pricing for samples when you get them created on request basis. I hope that answered the question, Jai Prakash. If you have any further questions, you can definitely reach out to us on hello@tradyl.com. One more question we have here is from Matthew. The question is, what's the difference between ready-to-ship products and custom manufacturing?
Okay, so as I mentioned during the webinar that we are an e-commerce platform. So on the e-commerce platform, we have products which are already produced by the brands and which are selling across India. So these are ready to ship products. They are already manufactured with the brands. They are there with the factories and they can be sent to you on demand. And about customization, if you give your own designs and everything, the input, if there is a particular fabric or let's say a particular sequence, then we go into customization because we have to start from the scratch. Hope this answers the question.
The next question is from Jess San. The question is, what should I know about minimum order quantities before sourcing apparels?
So, as I told before also, for each fabric, if it's woven or woolen or knitwear, there is a minimum order quantity. A certain amount of fabric is required to be produced by the mill. If, for example, I take single jersey fabric and you can say that, okay, I need only 400 pieces. So that might be possible, but we have the MOQ for that may be 800 pieces. So either factory will ask you for an upcharge for that, or they will say that, yes, we can give you this at a good price, but you have to order minimum 800 pieces. It is very, very important that you ask about lead time and MOQ from the manufacturer before the quotation.
Thank you, Varun. I hope that answered the question, Jess San. We don't have any more questions. We'll just give a few minutes for the attendees to post questions if they have. I think we are done with the open questions for now. We don't have any more open questions. So maybe one would like to put some ending notes and share details that can that the attendees can reach out to if required.
So at the end, I would only like to say that not only do we need a great designs to create beautiful and functional designs, but we also need great producers and great suppliers to execute all those vision. I think if you get in touch with Tradyl, you can get everything, because we are a design to delivery company, and we can always meet expectation. We are very flexible in those terms, and we look forward to meet you.
Okay.
You can also reach out to me at my email ID, that's varun.kotwal@tradyl.com, for further questions and connections, and I will be happy to help. Hope to listen from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Varun. All right. I think that's about all the time we have today, and it was a great session. We hope it was valuable to the attendees, and we hope it gave you some clear ideas on how to approach apparel sourcing from India. Again, huge thanks to Varun for sharing insights based on his expertise, and thanks to everyone for joining the session and participating with your questions with such enthusiasm. If you want to explore more or get in touch with our team, you can head over to Tradyl.com. We'll also send out a recording soon, so keep an eye on your inbox. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we hope to see you at our next webinar. If there is anything particular that you would like to make a webinar on, then please share those information on hello@tradyl.com. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.